And as we come in, it's always a wonderful thing to let us know where you're beaming in from. Let us know what part of the world that you're located in. And we can just feel each other all across the globe. That's been one of my favorite parts of these calls, is this global community that we create. We're going live on Facebook too, even though it was a very unflattering angle. We're going to do it anyway. So just bear with me one more second. I'm going to try to set that up. Tech is not my forte. Here we go. Going live. At least it's able to do it horizontally now. So as everyone comes in, we can let people know where we're beaming in from. And for all of my friends on Facebook, as you come in, if you want to come join us in Zoom, we're going to have a much more beautiful background for you to see. And I'm going to show you some things that you can't see on Facebook. So my beloved is going to drop a link for the Zoom call in the chat below, in the comments below, and you can find that and join us. So we have people here once again from far and wide, and it's lovely to see Lynn and Leaf again from Justine. Atira is coming in from Tucson, Arizona. Yay. Margaret from London. Thanks for staying awake late and joining from all the way across the ocean. Carla from Sausalito. Dia again, I know now by heart you're from the Valley of Peace in Idaho, right? Yeah, yes. I love the name of that place. It's great. Namaste and love to you. Beautiful. So I'm just going to continue to admit people who are coming. Welcome, beloved. Welcome, Jason. If you want to join us in Zoom, I'm going to be showing some cool backgrounds. It's great to see your name. Wow, touches me. Talk about a real life wizard. I've had some amazing experiences, mostly one amazing experience in real life, face to face, and then also through the gift of technology with this beautiful being who's joining on Facebook right now. Talk about portals that can open when your prayer and your alignment with source and nature and the elements are in the right place. Greetings, everyone. Aw. So Margaret, I'm not the most techie person. Maybe someone else can help her out. She wants to get her video on. Andrea from Cassia and New York City. Welcome, beloved. Welcome, Randy. Welcome, Jean. Welcome, Craig. Good to see you. All right. Well, as people keep coming in, they'll see how wonderful it is to feel us as we connect in this way together. We are aligning our intention and our presence with the main purpose of my calls is to lift some veils on these archetypes of the divine feminine that have been sorely erased and suppressed for millennia, and to raise our frequency together through the connection of our hearts and our heart sharing. And every week, every Oracle office hours, I tune into the phase of the moon. This is something that in our modern world, we're so indoors and we're so much on our screens that we, as a collective, look to the moon less and less and feel the changes in the energetic cycles less and less consciously. So our ancestors were attuned to the moon cycles. They planted with certain cycles. They knew the cycles that were times of rest and times of dreaming, times of expression and celebration. And so I'm bringing back some of these ancient practices as I'm a Divine Feminine Mystery School focalizer. We work with the elements closely, we honor them, we work with the cycles and the moon. There's something called hollowing the moon, working with the moon more consciously. So today, we have moved into a phase called the waning crescent. And I'm going to show that. I have to keep moving my other little device around. So I'm going to actually show you the beauty of the waning crescent. I was born on a waning crescent moon, and this is a moon that is sometimes called the old soul moon. People born on the waning crescent are known to be more interested in the mysteries, in spirituality. It'd be interesting for you, maybe after the call, to look up the date you were born, the year and the day, not so much the time, but that might depend, of a change in the phase. So here we have our beautiful waning crescent, where there's just this little sliver of light. You can tell the angle of our home star, our sun shining on it. The waning crescent is a time where we're moving towards the dark of the moon. And for my friends on Facebook, if you hop over on Zoom with me, you'll see what I'm showing all our Zoom friends here. I'm holding my hand up because I'm holding the waning crescent moon. And I feel like it's a much kind of more fun Oracle office hours on Zoom. And when we feel the energy of the waning crescent, and I'm going to show how this cycle moves through all the cycles, we're here. We're about to go into, actually no, we are waning, coming down here, going towards the new moon. I'm seeing everything backwards. So we're about to hit our dark of the moon again. And the waning crescent is a time of moving towards stillness, moving towards the inner reflective time, the dreaming time, the deeper contemplation time again. And bring it back. As you can see from my attire, and I've said this in our other Oracle office hours, I try to bring through the archetype of the divine feminine that's most connected to the phase of the moon we're in. And this phase is an archetype that is lesser known, sometimes feared, sometimes avoided, but can never really avoid her. And it reflects our relationship with the unknown, with the darkness, with stillness, and with death. This is the archetype of the Queen of Death. And just feel, often when we hear the word death, there's this part of our body that's like, oh, the animal, the primal, even just the root chakra survival mechanism that's like, we don't want that. We don't want death. Our whole purpose, or at least the ego and the root chakra, is to survive. It's to stay alive. This being said, death is inevitable. And I'm not pointing so much at the final passage out of this form. I'm pointing even to the little deaths we face all the time. Change is inevitable. When you think about even this part of us that wants to hold on, it's the same part, the mind that wants to be in control, but that's an illusion. Change and the death of many things throughout our lifetime, the death of our certain beliefs, the death of even certain parts of our identity, the death of certain relationships, constant letting go, constant, ceaseless change is with us. So the Queen of Death, sometimes known as Persephone, here's an image of from the 13 Moon Oracle. The Queen of Death, she rides on the river Styx. She's holding the night blooming jasmine. She is accompanied by a bat, and you can barely see it. There is a jaguar, black jaguar with her here. She is the face of the goddess that meets you at these transitions. She's the face of the goddess that offers you passage, that invites you into the release of the clinging of the small self, the clinging of the mind. And we know her also as Hecate, with her dogs, the lantern or torch lifter. Hecate is here with her hounds. And she is a goddess that's been revered for millennia as the crone at the crossroads, the one who will lift the light for us in challenging times of transition and change. So these small deaths that require leaps of faith, that require courage, that require trust. The Queen of Death. Here's an image I made from an old picture of myself with that heart light still shining bright when we trust our heart knowing to guide us. There are beings that practice consciously for their final passage. In Tibet, yogis, the Tibetan practice dream yoga, moving consciously through lucidity in the bardos, preparing for the bardos, the true bardos, how to navigate the unknown. How do we know what's real in the dark? How do we know what's real in the bardos? So much of what we fear, here's another image of a Valkyrie. Let's see if I can get her on there. Yes, the courage it takes to leap into the unknown. The Valkyries were said to bring those courageous warriors to Valhalla to assist them on their ascension journey out of suffering, out of the density of this mortal realm. And that Valkyrie spirit of discerning those who are noble of heart, perhaps those who have done the inner work that are truly warriors of spirit, the Valkyries will lift them into a higher realm. We are being invited to feel into our own hearts, especially around change, around the fear that we might have around losing control, around the unknown and the fear of the dark or the unknown. Just feel for a moment, maybe put a hand on your heart, another hand on your belly. When I invite you to imagine stepping into this kind of dark, inky space, like a soft black velvet room where there's no light, and you have to navigate with your feelings. How do you know? Do you move from fear? Do you move from love? Do you turn the light on brighter on the inside of your heart? Our culture would have us completely terrified of the dark, of change, even of evolution. It sounds kind of ironic, but this culture we're in that is so much about worldly success and the ego and showing what you have, you can't take any of it with you at the end. We will not care on our deathbed all the masses of wealth we've accumulated. You will not care at all. The only thing that you have is that inner light, that love that you've cultivated. How to turn that up while you're here in a body. Last weekend, I had this incredible opportunity to navigate in a group that was deeply studying the mysteries of what was really happening a couple thousand years ago with Mary Magdalene and the Mayaphors, the priestesses that were anointing the body of Yeshua. And there's so much speculation, there's so much curiosity about his death. What happened? Why is this massive collective story? What really happened? Could he have truly ascended, dematerialized, or rematerialized in a light body? Perhaps. We hear of the Tibetan Rinpoches, Padmasambhava, the father of Tibetan Buddhism, who had the ability to create the rainbow light body, this master. We hear of other yogic masters like Babaji who are able to bilocate, materialize, dematerialize. We don't know what's on the other side of the veil. It's rare people that go and come back, they tell us, well, there's often this incredibly bright light, and there maybe are beings that love us from beyond the veil. I'm just offering that we are terrified of the unknown in our animal body. We don't want to let go. And the Queen of Death is here to say life is a series of small opportunities to let go and to trust. I trust, I release. To feel into your own life right now where you're being asked to let go. You're going to feel it in the places that you cling the most with worry, with wanting to control outcomes, and with needing to be right. Your need to be right is in direct proportion to your fear of death. Just take that in for a minute. The need to be right is in direct proportion to your terror of dying. So what if we are more interested in being loved than being right? And letting go more and more rapidly in the present moment. What would that do for our vibration, for our love level, for our ability to flow with the process of life? Life and death are intrinsically linked, like the yin and the yang of it. So I'd love to invite you, as we take in this frequency on this waning crescent, this sliver, what is the moon inviting you to fully let go of, so that you can truly dream awake in the dark of the moon for this next cycle? What would you be most served by releasing in trust? Think about the parts of your life, feel into your heart, and you can put it in the chat as medicine for the one. When you feel into what you would most be served with letting go. I'm going to offer for this collective purpose that I would be served by letting go of worry about my 17-year-old son. He is not a typical academic kid. My daughter was like, straight A student, really on that college-bound track. My son does not care about grades. He does not care about academics. He can sit down on any instrument and figure it out and play in a way that you think he's been playing for ages. So he has these gifts and abilities that are uniquely his. Why project worry? Why waste time? I'm telling myself, I'm coaching myself here. I'm letting go of that worry. Are you going to graduate? That worry, what's going to happen? I let go. I trust. I release. And I free myself and I free him in that offering. So for all of us, what could you offer? Oh, beautiful. I'm reading some of the chat box now. Yes, so people are asking about finding out what the moon phase was. You can put that into the almighty Google search there with your date and ask moon phase of. I was born on Christmas Eve in the early 70s, and I put it in and it told me the exact day of my birth and the phase. Yes, Persephone is captivating. Welcome to my friends on Facebook. I keep wanting to encourage everyone, if you're still here on Facebook, to come on over to the Zoom call, because there's so much more to show and the beauty of that. And I'm head on and not like below, coming up this funny angle. So we're here in this inquiry as the moon is waning close to the new moon again. What would we be most served in releasing? If the mantra of this archetype is I trust, I release. I trust, I release. What could you find of benefit to dig deeper in trust, to release today, and to be witnessed in that? Yes. The jaguar came through for Randy. That's the animal totem in the dark, in the shamanic journey. The jaguar is such a powerful ally. Yes, and Dia, I'm glad you're mentioning this Shroud of Turin. That came up in the weekend too, with the alchemy of what really happened there, this light body phenomenon. There is a place in all of us that is beyond death. That star in the center of our heart, that what some might call the sacred essence of our soul, where we took form. What if we cultivate our connection to that light, that inner light, so much that we bring this consciously through the bardos and are not tempted by all the illusions that might snare us back into lower frequency situations, and applying this to life itself, to our walk here in this realm. How do we know what's real? How do we trust our heart light to guide us, to feel moment by moment our yes, our no? Letting go of the fear about anything and everything. Thank you. Midge is releasing fear about anything and everything. Dear Therese, I offer up my self-doubt, which chains me to withholding, holding back and not being bold, witnessing you, beloved, in that risk, in that courage, withholding our love. I love this expression that true love is for giving, not for getting. I'm just feeling that fun of English. True love is forgiving and not forgetting. Forgetting an illusion and Maya, believing this dream of separation. True love is that abundant offering of reciprocity of presence, no withholding. When there's no fear here, there is absolute grace. Don't be shy. What else? What could you offer up? What could you release today before this new moon, so that as you dream awake, as you intend and align with your vision and your prayer, you're not encumbered by the dissonance of that old pattern. What old pattern? I gave up worry, especially about my son, and it's the one relationship which I would call my greatest initiation right now in staying absolutely present. That relationship will challenge me to stay in the heart, in present moment awareness. Carla, I offer up my clinging for connection with my siblings following our parents' death. I'm gonna find you up here in there she is. Really just witnessing that wisdom and the peace that will come from that let go. Blessed be. May it be so. Oh, I remember when my daughter went through her dad's, she's still going through the grief of her dad's passing that happened about a year ago. And in her grief, she turned inward and was in a phase that she didn't want to be in active relationship with me. And my mind and my emotions were so catalyzed by what did I do wrong and how can I fix this, and clinging and trying harder to bridge with her. And the harder I would try, the more that she would step back energetically. And it wasn't until I started actively praying and speaking to her higher self in gratitude, in appreciation, in love, energetically, that she came back and moved towards me. It was in the release of fear, in the release of my needs, trying to get something from her. It was in the purity of just loving her, accepting her, that she energetically shifted It might have been time. I think it was the inner work that did it. So may that offer some medicine. Thank you for all the sweet comments. Oh, yay. Yeah. Does anyone else want to make an offering to the One in this light of this waning crescent, what you could entrust, fully release here with the power of our witnessing? What could you release? Here we go. Midge, I trust and release my issues with my car and my fear that I have to deal with the process of selling and buying a new car. Yes, I know these parts of life that aren't all like ease and joy and the mundane, the car maintenance, the taxes, all the things that we dread and we resist and we're like, oh, to deal with this. And now, with our bodies, with aging, with the places that need more attention, more stretching, more care, more rest, the Queen of Death is also inviting us to slow down and rest. Stillness. And from the stillness, that repair and that renewal. I know you can't just slow down and rest and pray your car suddenly works better. There's things that are needing to be attended to. And then there's parts of our life that are asking us to listen deeper. What's the most important thing? What would love do from absolute trust? How can we take care of ourselves at a deeper level beyond all that kind of maintenance? I'm using the car as a metaphor, you can tell. It's like, yeah, there's this kind of maintenance that is being invited. I can see you like resonating, Midge. You're like, totally, yes. Yeah. And there's a lot of humility in it. This part of life where we don't feel like always super powered and immortal. We feel the humbleness, the darker faces of love, depression, sickness, sorrow, grief. This is part of the Queen of Death's realm of compassion, even in these times where she will invite us into being with what is from a very deep, compassionate embrace. So I'm not sure what your name is on the iPhone. Thank you for sharing. If you want to pop it in the chat. I'm reading the iPhone friend saying, I let go of not feeling good enough to be in an intimate relationship because of not being thin enough, right? The culture's conditioning, the have tos, need tos, shoulds, and musts. And will I be loved when? Will I be enough when I fix, change, improve, or become something else? So I invite you, beloved, whoever is writing this from your iPhone, just put a hand on your heart, and all of us, just to feel the places that we still resist loving ourselves exactly as we are, and how much we want someone else, the beloved outside the self, to validate our worthiness, approve of our beauty. What if you could feel your essence beauty, your enoughness, and the pleasure of being alive and giving your love at such a level that there's no block to receiving love? There's no part that would say, I'm not ready. I am here now in love, as love, for love. And all the places that we're not kind to our bodies, that we feel like we have to, need to, should be a cultural picture of media to be loved. So in this moment, beloved, just feeling with deep compassion the part of you that colluded with that narrative. And could you release that? Release that today for all of us. Feeling into this inquiry, the parts that we don't feel enough. Can we release that in trust, in love? Yeah. Randy says, without our grief, how could we understand as much about love? Wisdom there. A couple years ago, this song, I only remembered a little fragment of it, but it was something about the relationship between grief and grace. Grief and grace. And it was like, grief and grace, grief and grace. Oh, the world turns on. So, feeling our grief as a reflection of our love and feeling our suffering as a reflection of grace, those seeds of grace, how we make that space in our heart when we don't resist, avoid, deny, or use addictions to cover over our feelings that are very grieving, are releasing our tears, our feelings, open up this wellspring of grace, this ability to hold so much more love, so much more luminosity, to raise the frequency through that inner alchemy. Thank you, Randy. Andrea, releasing trying to control the outcome of things, non-attachment, untangled. Blessed be, Andrea. This is the master path right there. Compassionate detachment. Compassionate detachment. I can witness you, I can love you, and I can release control, release my own suffering from my feelings of what I think you should be doing or what should happen. Witnessing you in that process of releasing. Pat, yes, I trust and release my financial fears, the physical balances of lightheadedness, and so it is. Holding you, Pat, in this time of finding balance, inner and outer balance. May it be so. Blessed be. Thank you, beloveds, for sharing so deeply and intimately and courageously. Dia, Therese, I publicly, to all of you, announce I release my anxiousness about choices I'm making regarding my health. Blessed be. Thank you. Thank you for the courage to be with that feeling in a different way. Oh, hello, anxious part. The little one, the young one, the scared one, the animal body. I love you. I have you. No matter what, I love you. Just feeling that. Blessed be. Oh, yeah. Carla, do you know that song? Oh my God, that's so great. Okay, later, please send it. So, my loves, this has been really, really rich. And for those who are on Facebook, if you want to come on over to Zoom, I have a much better angle and awesome background here. We're going to play with a few oracle readings now. We're going to use these beautiful alchemical cards. Ah, welcome, welcome. So, we have been, this is, I think, our 6th Oracle office hours, and we have been moving through different archetypes, the divine feminine. We've been honoring the lunar phases, and we have been sharing the wisdom of these archetypal Oracle cards and what people choose. I'd just like to remind everyone, first, before I pull cards, I thought it'd be fun to offer my chalice today. So, as this archetype of the Queen of Death, I invite us to collectively, with these waters of remembrance, these waters of love and forgiveness, to feel into our hearts all that has been released in grace, all that has been named in love. And I drink to your releases. I drink to our inner alchemy and to the peace that we are bringing in, the deeper peace. Blessed be. to the one heart. All right, so now for these beautiful cards. So you can see these gorgeous peacock feathered cards. The peacock, once again, the reason why she's a symbol of alchemy is that the peacock is the only animal that I know of that can consume poison and not only survive, be nourished by it, alchemize it, and transmute it into beauty. So for all of our precious hearts, let's feel who is really called today. Lynn and Leaf said, I love the presence of what we are right now as what we are to be. Love it all today. So much love back to the two of you. So who has not had a reading recently that would love a reading? Oh, yeah, drinking in that peace. And Midge is receiving that transmission about the car as a metaphor. So who would like, you can raise your hand if you go down in the bottom. You can raise, there we go. I would love to, Atira, I would love to give you a reading today. Are you, there she is, yay. Okay, so we're going to spotlight you. I have to unpin me, but we can share. Hi, beloved. And we're going to be together here. So what we've been doing is I'll scroll my hand slowly across the cards. And when you feel ready, you just say now. Okay? All right. So starting from this side, coming slowly.
No.
All right. You have a very powerful card. Can you see that? That's the crystal skull. That is the...
Oh my. Oh yes, yeah. That's very powerful.
Very, very powerful card. So the card, and I want to again give major hats off to my fairy goddess mother, Ariel Spilsbury, who channeled in the 13 Moon Oracle. And later I'm going to ask my beloved assistant to put it in the chat for everyone. This is a card of the Creator, Destroyer, Preserver. This is a card of an archetype that the goddess most known for it is Kali. And Kali can be such a fierce ally. She is going to ask you, before you can really focus on what is meant to come through you and be created, her expression is, I focus, I create. She's going to ask you, what might first need to be destroyed? In fierce love, what is no longer serving? So just like a magnifying glass can start a fire, this crystal skull, the sun shines in the crown and out the third eye in the true vision of what is coming to be created. Let that light in. See clearly, beloved, what is yours to focus on now, the essential, the crucial, that which truly serves you on a soul level. And once again, really get real with yourself. What might be asking to be burnt to ash, really to be let go of?
The deepest thing to let go of is the strife, continued strife in my very small family of origin. It's a legacy of the Nazis. Wow. And we're still struggling with how that affected every member of this family. And it just brings me to tears because I'm recently again in a smaller struggle with my daughter, but alienation with my sisters, and it's just, it hurts deeply. Deeply because we have like maybe 4 or 5 people left on this side of the world.
Yeah. So for you, beloved Atira, what a beautiful name you have, Atira Desert Rose. I can just feel into this part of your heart that just wants peace, that wants to clean it up, that wants to, when I ask what should be what could be destroyed, we can only stay on our own side of the street and do the deep shadow work and do the inner work there and release the control or the need for them to change. And for you, in any way that you can, focus on the love, focus on the peace, the harmony, and in the small ways that you can let go of any, even thought forms that come in that are in judgment, that are attached, that are still blame. This is the greatest work you can do in this time. Thank you for your vulnerability and sharing your heart with us here. Thank you, beloved. So precious. Thank you. Yeah. Much love. All right. So, my loves, deep, deep shares. Wow. The work that we do is collective work. The pieces that we're willing to fully take responsibility for and to, I'm thinking of Ho'oponopono. The true meaning of this is only good becoming greater. We think it means I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. But it really means, the kahunas told me, hello, beloved. I put you on the screen, Andrea. Is this your daughter?
Yes, thank you, Eden. This is my daughter, and
Hi, beauties.
so blessed to be here. Thank you.
So good to see both of you. And would your daughter like a card today? Or yes. What's your name? What's
My
your
name
name?
is Cassia.
Cassia?
Yeah.
Beautiful name.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice
All
to meet you.
right. So feel into your heart, Cassia, an area of your life that you're really asking for guidance, for support, for wisdom, and we'll see what archetype of the goddess, and will it be a tool? We'll see what she has for you today. So holding that in mind, and I'm going to scroll across and you say now when you're ready.
Now.
Oh, wow. Okay. You have a tool, a sacred tool. This is a powerful tool. Do you remember when I lifted the chalice? I have a real one right here. This is a tool of transmission because water, the element of the priestess, this is a priestess card, a sapphire blue priestess card. Water is divine feminine consciousness in form. And the tool of the chalice is asking you to come into the chalice of your own being, to really let yourself be filled by the higher frequencies of your remembrance, to then transmit, to speak from that place, from stillness, to amplify and transmit that which is truly resonating. So when you have the opportunity to speak, whether that's to your family, to your friends, or when life presents opportunities for you to really resonate your voice out into the collective, to be a transmitter of divine consciousness through this chalice of your being, receiving the higher knowing. It's a very powerful tool. So this is the chalice, and I invite you just to feel. If you can feel your own body, your crown is the opening of the chalice, and as the energy moves down, it moves down and it roots under into the stem in the earth, and that you're always receiving divine light, divine resonance. And the more that you practice kind of clearing the channel through releasing old stories and things that no longer serve you, the more you can transmit from the purity of your heart, those sacred waters of remembrance. I hope you enjoyed this and that it resonated for you.
Thank you
may
so
be
much.
You're so welcome. You may be asked to really speak truth with some people in your life from love. And the way the priestess does it is through deep listening first, really listening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So much love, ladies. Thank you. Keep moving my other device around. Here we go. All right, there's a few hands. Let me see. I have not met, let me see if you're in the video. Karen, is it Karen? Let me see if you can. Would you be willing to turn on your video so I can see you?
Yes, 1 second. Sorry.
Thank you.
I'm laying in darkness, but I'm moving to the light for you.
Thank you. Where are you coming in from today?
Tampa.
Florida?
Yes.
Oh, wonderful. Let's see. Are you on the camera now? Let me see
Yes.
where you are. Okay, I'm looking for you in the top. Karen. There she is. Yay. Okay, we're going to add you. Hi.
Hello.
All right. So I'm going to shuffle the cards a bit and feel into your heart as I do, just the area of your life that you are really wanting the most guidance around. You know, these cards are going to be much more than like a yes or a no around something. It's going to come from a place that it's a deeper share. And for everyone watching and listening to what comes for Karen, feel if there's a resonance for you, because with the archetypal wisdom, it's not just for one of us. If it resonates, that means it's medicine for you too. I say this every Oracle office hours. If you feel this is pinging you deeply, then this is for you. Okay, Karen, ready? I'm just going to go slowly and you let me know.
There.
All right. Okay. We've had this card, the Goddess of Compassion card likes to come almost every call. She's been coming a lot. This is the Shri Yantra, and this is a card around creating structure, but not physical structures, not like building things. This is about bringing into manifestation with the structure in your life, with the patterns in your life, with energy in your life, bringing that which wishes to be seeded into your life by creating that condition. The Shri Yantra is a powerful visualization tool. You have the 4 ascending masculine triangles and the 5 descending feminine triangles. And this card is inviting you to feel, to create new structures where you could bring compassion into the places that maybe are needed to break free of old structures. So really feel in your heart, because it's a Goddess of Compassion card. She says, I recognize, I seed, I recognize what is real, what is needed, what is maybe needing to be released, since we're in this waning moon. And I seed, which we do in the dark of the moon that's coming very soon. I seed that which is true to be brought to life. So structures that help this come to be in your life, that could be practices. It could be the way that you do your self-care, the structures that you create around you, the systems that you create that help you really manifest that true path that you are here to create. So just feel what might be coming up for you and how that might resonate.
Thank you. It's amazing. Shri Yantra tapestry right on top of my bed.
Oh, fantastic.
So it just goes right aligned with everything I'm trying to build. So thank you. It's such a for me. Very beautiful.
I love hearing that, beloved. Thank you for being here. Thank you for receiving. It's sweet to see you.
Thank you
Yes.
for your
Keep
gift.
going. You're on
Very
total track. I feel you are in the work. You are doing it. Yes.
thank you and for sharing.
Much, much love, beloved.
Aho.
Aho. All right, I'm going to ring the bowl as each of these shares are collective pieces. Each of these transmissions from the archetypes are here for the one, for the collective at this time. So for every share that we had today, for all the blessing and benefit to the one heart. And so, my loves, we are going to wrap up pretty soon. But before we do, I want to let you know that if you didn't get a reading today, to come back and be sure to let me know, because I want to give equal opportunity as we do these Oracle office hours. And next week, we are going to have something really special. Instead of our typical Oracle office hours, we're going to do our Spiritual Masterclass. It's another free live event, an offering that's even deeper. We're going to be celebrating the spring equinox, and this is Tuesday instead of Thursday. So please come. And Zunera, if you can put the masterclass link in the chat and maybe on Facebook too, for those reading or watching on Facebook. The Spiritual Masterclass is a longer offering that's going to include practices that I offer to the initiates in the mystery school. We're going to be calling in the directions, honoring the elements, and we're going to go on a powerful inner journey, a guided journey. It's a meditation practice that's offered in the mystery school that will raise your frequency. It'll open the heart. It'll still include this community connection and heart sharing. That call will be full of ways to connect and feel each other. And I have a couple really exciting things I'm looking forward to sharing with you on next week's masterclass call on Tuesday. So Zunera has popped that into the chat now. If you're not already signed up for that, do so soon so you can get the email reminder with that Zoom link. It'll be a different link than the Oracle office hours. And for all of you who are here and who have been coming regularly, I'm so grateful for you. I feel so blessed, so touched by your presence here with me and the good work we're doing together. And I look forward to sharing more. I look forward to being together again soon. And wow, we still have people coming in right at the last minute. So for all of those still joining, just know there's more. There's more coming. My commitment is to bridge out of the mystery school that has been quite exclusive for so long into the collective for those of us who are resonating, those of us who are ready for these transmissions. And my intention is to continue doing this, especially because I'm taking a pause at the moment before I start my next year-long Mysterium and 13 Moon Circle, to give people that maybe couldn't go that deep to commit to a whole year training, but that feel these goddesses alive in them and want to touch into the magic and the mystery with us. So thank you for feeling the call in your heart. I bow to you all. I look forward to being with you again soon. Only love. Many blessings.